Welcome to this comprehensive, deep dive exploration of Atomic Habits by James Clear. In this extended session, we will meticulously break down the core philosophies, practical strategies, and profound insights presented in this masterpiece. Our goal is to provide you with a complete understanding of the author's message, as if you had read the book cover to cover yourself. We will begin with a high-level overview, followed by 15 critical takeaways, and finally, a detailed chapter-by-chapter analysis. Let's immerse ourselves in the wisdom of Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits by James Clear is a groundbreaking manual on how to build good habits and break bad ones. The book's core premise is that massive changes are not the result of massive actions, but rather the compounding effect of hundreds of small decisions or habits over time. Clear calls these small changes atomic habits. Just as atoms are the building blocks of molecules, atomic habits are the building blocks of remarkable results. In the beginning, small improvements often seem meaningless because they wash away in the daily grind. However, if you can get just 1% better each day for 1 year, you will end up 37 times better by the time you are done. Conversely, if you get 1% worse each day for 1 year, you will decline nearly to zero. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. The same way that money multiplies through compound interest, the effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them. They seem to make little difference on any given day, and yet the impact they deliver over the months and years can be enormous. It is only when looking back 2, 5, or perhaps 10 years later that the value of good habits and the cost of bad ones becomes strikingly apparent. Clear emphasizes that true behavior change is identity change. You might start a habit because of motivation, but the only reason you'll stick with one is that it becomes part of your identity. Anyone can convince themselves to visit the gym or eat healthy once or twice, but if you do not shift the belief behind the behavior, then it is hard to stick with long-term changes. Improvements are only temporary until they become part of who you are. The ultimate goal is not to read a book, it is to become a reader. The goal is not to run a marathon, it is to become a runner. The goal is not to learn an instrument, it is to become a musician. Your behaviors are usually a reflection of your identity. What you do is an indication of the type of person you believe that you are, either consciously or non-consciously. To change your behavior for good, you need to start believing new things about yourself. You build your identity through your habits. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. No single instance will transform your beliefs, but as the votes build up, so does the evidence of your new identity. Therefore, the most practical way to change who you are is to change what you do. Furthermore, Clear argues that we should forget about setting goals and focus on our systems instead. Goals are about the results you want to achieve. Systems are about the processes that lead to those results. If you are having trouble changing your habits, the problem is not you. The problem is your system. Bad habits repeat themselves again and again, not because you do not want to change, but because you have the wrong system for change. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Clear introduces the 4 laws of behavior change, a simple set of rules we can use to build better habits. They are: make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. These 4 laws provide a framework for creating good habits, while their inverses, make it invisible, make it unattractive, make it difficult, and make it unsatisfying, provide a framework for breaking bad habits. Human behavior is driven by the feedback loop of cue, craving, response, and reward. The cue triggers a craving, which motivates a response, which provides a reward, which satisfies the craving and becomes associated with the cue. Together, these 4 steps form a neurological feedback loop that ultimately allows you to create automatic habits. The first law, make it obvious, is about the cue. You need to design your environment so that the cues for your good habits are highly visible and obvious. The second law, make it attractive, is about the craving. The more attractive an opportunity is, the more likely it is to become habit-forming. The third law, make it easy, is about the response. Human beings are naturally drawn to the option that requires the least amount of work, so you must reduce the friction associated with good habits. The fourth law, make it satisfying, is about the reward. We are more likely to repeat a behavior when the experience is satisfying. By mastering these 4 laws, anyone can fundamentally redesign their habits, leading to extraordinary transformations in their health, wealth, productivity, and overall happiness over the long term. This book teaches that you do not need monumental motivation or willpower. You simply need a better system designed around how human psychology actually works. Through continuous optimization and minor adjustments, you can shape your destiny. Takeaway 1. The power of 1% better every day. James Clear introduces the concept of getting 1% better every day as the foundation of his philosophy. Most people dismiss small changes because they do not see immediate results. If you go to the gym for 3 days, you are still out of shape. If you study Mandarin for an hour tonight, you still cannot speak the language. However, habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. The mathematical reality is that if you get 1% better each day for a year, you end up 37 times better. Conversely, a 1% decline daily leads down to nearly zero. The impact created by habits multiplies as you repeat them. It is crucial to understand that the initial stages of any quest are often unrewarding, leading to the valley of disappointment, where people quit because they expect linear progress. Realizing that results are delayed encourages you to persist through the plateau of latent potential. The breakthrough moments are often the result of many previous actions, which build up the potential required to unleash a major change. Focus on the daily trajectory rather than the current results. Takeaway 2. Systems versus goals. Clear makes a profound distinction between goals and systems. Goals are the outcomes you want to achieve, while systems are the processes that lead to those outcomes. Setting goals is useful for setting a direction, but building systems is best for making progress. A goal-oriented mindset can actually restrict your happiness because it creates an either-or conflict. Either you achieve your goal and are successful, or you fail and are a disappointment. Furthermore, goals create a yo-yo effect. Many runners work hard for months, but as soon as they cross the finish line, they stop training. The goal was the only thing motivating them. When all of your hard work is focused on a particular goal, what is left to push you forward after you achieve it? A systems-first mentality is an antidote to this. When you fall in love with the process rather than the product, you do not have to wait to give yourself permission to be happy. You can be satisfied any time your system is running. Ultimately, you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Takeaway 3. Identity-based habits. Changing your habits involves 3 layers: outcomes, processes, and identity. The outer layer is changing your outcomes: losing weight, publishing a book. The middle layer is changing your process: implementing a new routine at the gym. The deepest layer is changing your identity: your beliefs, worldviews, self-image. Most people start the process of changing their habits by focusing on what they want to achieve, leading to outcome-based habits. The alternative is to build identity-based habits, focusing first on who you wish to become. The ultimate form of intrinsic motivation is when a habit becomes part of your identity. It is one thing to say, I am the type of person who wants this, and another to say, I am the type of person who is this. If you are trying to quit smoking, responding with, no thanks, I am trying to quit, implies you still believe you are a smoker trying to change. Responding with, no thanks, I am not a smoker, signals a shift in identity. True behavior change is identity change. Your behaviors are usually a reflection of your identity. To change for good, you must believe new things about yourself. Takeaway 4. The 4-step habit loop. Every habit can be broken down into a 4-step pattern: cue, craving, response, and reward. This loop is the fundamental neurological backbone of all habit formation. The cue triggers your brain to initiate a behavior because it predicts a reward. The craving is the motivational force behind every habit. What you crave is not the habit itself, but the change in internal state it delivers. The response is the actual habit you perform, which can take the form of a thought or an action. Finally, the response delivers a reward. Rewards serve 2 purposes. They satisfy your craving, and they teach you which actions are worth remembering in the future. If a behavior is insufficient in any of the 4 stages, it will not become a habit. Eliminate the cue, and your habit will never start. Reduce the craving, and you will not experience enough drive to act. Make the behavior difficult, and you will not be able to do it. And if the reward fails to satisfy your desire, then you will have no reason to do it again in the future. Without all 4 steps, a behavior will not be repeated. Takeaway 5. Law 1. Make it obvious. Implementation intentions. The first law of behavior change is make it obvious. To create a new habit, you must make the cues that trigger it highly visible. One of the most effective ways to do this is by using implementation intentions. This is a plan you make beforehand about when and where to act. Instead of saying, I will exercise more, you say, I will exercise for 30 minutes at 5 p.m. on Tuesday at the local gym. The format is, I will behavior, at time, in location. People who make a specific plan for when and where they will perform a new habit are much more likely to follow through. This removes the need for decision-making in the moment. You do not have to wait for motivation to strike, you just follow the plan. Additionally, you should redesign your environment so that cues for good habits are obvious and visible. If you want to drink more water, fill up water bottles each morning and place them in common locations around your house. By making the cues obvious, you significantly increase the likelihood that the habit will be initiated. Takeaway 6. Habit stacking. Habit stacking is a specific form of implementation intention that leverages the Diderot effect, which states that obtaining a new possession often creates a spiral of consumption leading to additional purchases. In habit formation, you can use this connectedness of behavior to your advantage. Habit stacking involves identifying a current habit you already do each day and then stacking your new behavior on top. The formula is, after I current habit, I will new habit. For example, after I pour my morning cup of coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute. The beauty of habit stacking is that it uses an existing strongly wired neural network to support the creation of a new one. Your current habit acts as a reliable cue for the new habit. You can even chain multiple habits together, creating a robust routine. The key is to select the right cue. It must be something you do without fail every single day, and the frequency of the cue should match the desired frequency of the new habit. By anchoring new behaviors to established ones, you make it exceptionally easy to remember to do them. Takeaway 7. Environment design trumps willpower. Society often credits success to high motivation or immense willpower, but Clear argues that environment design is far more powerful. We often underestimate the role our environment plays in shaping our behavior. A disciplined person is not necessarily someone with heroic willpower, but rather someone who designs their environment so they rarely have to use willpower. If you want to eat healthier, do not rely on your willpower to resist junk food. Simply remove all the junk food from your kitchen. If you want to study without distraction, leave your phone in another room. Make the cues of your good habits obvious and the cues of your bad habits invisible. Over time, habits associate not just with a single trigger, but with the entire context surrounding the behavior. Therefore, it is easier to build new habits in a new environment because you are not fighting against old environmental cues. Stop trying to change yourself in isolation and start changing your surroundings. When the environment changes, the behavior naturally follows. Optimizing your environment is the most direct path to taking control of your daily actions and ensuring long-term success. Takeaway 8. Law 2. Make it attractive. Temptation bundling. The second law of behavior change is make it attractive. Humans are driven by dopamine. Every highly habit-forming behavior is associated with higher levels of dopamine. Crucially, dopamine is released not only when you experience pleasure, but also when you anticipate it. It is the anticipation of a reward, not the fulfillment of it, that gets us to take action. To leverage this, Clear introduces temptation bundling, which works by linking an action you want to do with an action you need to do. For example, you can only listen to your favorite podcast, want, while working out at the gym, need. By pairing a high dopamine desire with a beneficial habit, you make the beneficial habit itself more attractive. Over time, your brain associates the grueling task with the pleasant reward, making you look forward to the activity you previously dreaded. This strategy is an application of Premack's principle, which states that more probable behaviors will reinforce less probable behaviors. Making habits attractive ensures that the craving step of the habit loop is strong enough to motivate you to take consistent action. Takeaway 9. The role of social norms and culture. Humans are highly social animals. We naturally want to fit in, bond with others, and earn the respect of our peers. Because of this, we tend to imitate the habits of 3 groups: the close, family and friends; the many, the tribe or the majority; and the powerful, those with status and prestige. If your friends are all physically active, you are highly likely to become physically active too. The culture we live in determines which behaviors are attractive to us. Therefore, one of the most effective things you can do to build better habits is to join a culture where your desired behavior is the normal behavior. When you see others doing it every day, it seems easy and natural. Furthermore, it is incredibly powerful if you already have something in common with that group. Shared identity reinforces personal identity. If you want to become a reader, join a book club. If you want to become a better investor, surround yourself with successful investors. The social environment acts as a massive, invisible force that either pulls you toward good habits or drags you toward bad ones. Takeaway 10. Law 3. Make it easy. Reduce friction. The third law of behavior change is make it easy. Human behavior follows the law of least effort. We naturally gravitate toward the option that requires the least amount of work. Therefore, the goal is not to find a way to do hard things, but to make doing the right things as easy as possible. This involves reducing the friction associated with good behaviors and increasing the friction associated with bad behaviors. If you want to go to the gym in the morning, lay out your workout clothes, shoes, and gym bag the night before. By doing this, you eliminate a significant barrier to entry. Every habit is merely an obstacle to getting what you really want. Dieting is an obstacle to getting fit. Meditation is an obstacle to feeling calm. The harder the obstacle, the less likely you are to overcome it. You must optimize your environment to make actions as effortless as possible. Prime your environment for future use. Conversely, to break a bad habit, increase the friction. If you watch too much television, unplug the TV and take the batteries out of the remote after every use. Takeaway 11. The 2-minute rule. A powerful strategy for making a habit easy is the 2-minute rule. The rule states, when you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. The idea is to scale down any new behavior until it is exceptionally easy to accomplish. Read before bed each night becomes read 1 page. Do 30 minutes of yoga becomes take out my yoga mat. Study for class becomes open my notes. The goal is to master the habit of showing up. A habit must be established before it can be improved. Many people think that doing a 2-minute action is pointless if the end goal is much larger. But the point is not to do just one thing. The point is to master the gateway habit that naturally leads down a more productive path. It reinforces the identity you want to build. You are becoming a reader, a yogi, or a dedicated student. Once you have mastered the art of showing up, the first 2 minutes simply become a ritual at the beginning of a larger routine. You cannot optimize a habit that does not exist, so standardize first and optimize later. Takeaway 12. Law 4. Make it satisfying. Immediate rewards. The fourth law of behavior change is make it satisfying. We are more likely to repeat a behavior when the experience is satisfying. The human brain evolved to prioritize immediate rewards over delayed rewards. This creates a problem for habit formation because the consequences of bad habits are delayed while the rewards are immediate. Smoking a cigarette feels good now, but causes cancer later. Conversely, the rewards of good habits are delayed while the effort is immediate. Working out is hard now, but leads to fitness later. To make good habits stick, we must figure out how to add an immediate reward to them. What is immediately rewarded is repeated. What is immediately punished is avoided. You can use reinforcement to create an immediate sense of success. For example, if you want to stop buying coffee out to save money, transfer $5 into an account for a dream vacation every time you skip the coffee shop. The immediate satisfaction of seeing the vacation fund grow reinforces the habit of saving. The ending of any behavior is crucial. If it ends with a positive emotion, you will want to do it again. Takeaway 13. Habit tracking and don't break the chain. Habit tracking is a simple yet profoundly effective way to measure your progress and ensure consistency. The most common method is marking an X on a calendar for every day you complete your routine, famously known as the Seinfeld strategy of don't break the chain. Habit tracking works because it leverages multiple laws of behavior change simultaneously. First, it makes it obvious. The visual record acts as a cue, reminding you to act. Second, it makes it attractive. Seeing your progress is highly motivating. Third, it makes it satisfying. The act of crossing off a day on the calendar delivers a small hit of dopamine and immediate gratification. Tracking provides clear, undeniable evidence of your changing identity. However, Clear offers an important rule for when you inevitably stumble. Never miss twice. Missing one day is an accident. Missing 2 days is the start of a new, bad habit. Even if you can only do a fraction of your intended habit on a bad day, doing something maintains the identity and keeps the chain alive. A bad workout is still a workout. Takeaway 14. The Goldilocks rule of motivation. Sustaining motivation over the long term is one of the hardest parts of habit formation. The Goldilocks rule states that humans experience peak motivation when working on tasks that are right on the edge of their current abilities. Not too hard, not too easy, but just right. If a task is too easy, you get bored. If a task is too hard, you experience failure and frustration, causing you to quit. To maintain motivation, you need to continually push yourself to the edge of your capabilities. When you start a habit, it needs to be as easy as possible so you can consistently show up. But once the habit is established, it will become boring. At that point, you must advance the difficulty slightly to stay engaged. This constant state of slight challenge induces flow, a state of deep focus and enjoyment. Professional athletes and peak performers understand that the greatest threat to success is not failure, but boredom. You have to fall in love with boredom and the repetition of doing the work, day in and day out, to reach the level of mastery. Takeaway 15. The downside of habits and periodic review. While habits are incredibly powerful for continuous improvement, they have a downside. The benefit of habits is that we can do things without thinking. The downside is that we stop paying attention to little errors. You assume you are getting better because you are gaining experience, but in reality, you are merely reinforcing your current habits, flaws and all. To overcome this, you must establish a system for reflection and review. Mastery is the result of habits plus deliberate practice. James Clear recommends conducting an annual review to reflect on your progress, identify areas where your habits have grown stale, and recalibrate your systems. He also suggests an integrity report, where you reflect on your core values and whether your daily habits are aligning with the identity you want to project. This ongoing process of awareness ensures that your habits are serving you rather than hindering you. It prevents the automaticity of habits from leading to stagnation. By maintaining a conscious eye on your automated behaviors, you can continuously tweak your systems and remain on the path of never-ending self-improvement. Chapter 1. The Fundamentals. Why Tiny Changes Make a Big Difference. Bundy? No. Fundamentals of Atomic Habits. Detailed Section 1. Fundamentals. Why Tiny Changes Make a Big Difference. This introductory section lays the groundwork for the entire philosophy of atomic habits. James Clear begins by sharing his personal story of recovering from a catastrophic baseball injury in high school, which forced him to start small to regain his health and eventually excel as an athlete. He introduces the core premise that success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations. The mathematics of improvement are staggering. Getting 1% better every day for a year yields a 37-fold improvement. Clear introduces the concept of the valley of disappointment. People often give up on their habits because they expect linear progress. When they do not see results within the first few days or weeks, they quit. However, the results of our efforts are often delayed. They accumulate like potential energy and are released later in a massive breakthrough. He uses the analogy of an ice cube sitting in a room that is slowly warming. From 25 to 31 degrees, nothing happens. But at 32 degrees, the ice begins to melt. The work done previously was not wasted. It was simply being stored. Furthermore, Clear profoundly shifts the focus from setting goals to building systems. Goals dictate the destination, but systems determine the journey. If you completely ignored your goals and focused solely on your system, would you still succeed? Clear argues yes. Goals are at odds with long-term progress because they create a yo-yo effect. You work hard to reach the goal, but once achieved, the motivation vanishes. Systems thinking is about falling in love with the process. The most critical fundamental concept is identity-based habits. There are 3 layers of behavior change: outcomes, what you get; processes, what you do; and identity, what you believe. True behavior change is identity change. It is not about reading a book, it is about becoming a reader. When your habits are aligned with your identity, they no longer feel like a chore. They are simply expressions of who you are. This section fundamentally rewires how the reader thinks about progress, urging a focus on the microscopic, daily actions that compound over a lifetime. By embracing atomic habits, you stop viewing self-improvement as a monumental mountain to climb and start seeing it as a series of small, manageable steps that inevitably lead to greatness. The insights shared here teach us that it is the small, seemingly insignificant choices that ultimately define our path. When you focus on getting 1% better each day, the compounding effect over years and decades leads to extraordinary transformations. It is a powerful reminder that our daily systems are vastly more important than our long-term goals. Every action you take is a vote for the person you wish to become, and mastering these fundamentals is the prerequisite for designing the life you desire. By redefining success not as a milestone, but as an ongoing trajectory, Clear provides a highly actionable and psychologically sound framework for continuous self-improvement. The fundamental shift from what I want to achieve to who I want to become is perhaps the most profound paradigm shift offered in the entire book. It guarantees that motivation comes from within, ensuring long-term adherence to the very systems that guarantee success. This establishes a firm foundation before diving into the mechanical laws of habit formation. The core takeaway from this section is undeniable. Your habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Let go of grand goals and fall in love with the small, daily processes that shape your identity. This is how you unlock your true potential and achieve remarkable results over the course of a lifetime. The fundamentals are not just theory, they are the practical bedrock upon which the rest of the book's actionable advice is meticulously built. By internalizing these concepts, readers are primed and ready to apply the subsequent 4 laws of behavior change effectively and sustainably. The transition from outcome-based thinking to identity-based thinking is the true secret to making habits stick forever. It is an exploration of the power of compounding behavior. Small, consistent actions are the actual engine of human progress. This section sets the tone, proving that anyone, regardless of their current circumstances or past failures, can leverage the mechanics of human behavior to construct a life of continuous advancement and deep, meaningful success. It is a masterful introduction to the life-changing magic of atomic habits. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. This quote perfectly encapsulates the ethos of the first chapter. You are what you repeatedly do. Build the right systems, and success becomes a mathematical certainty rather than a distant hope. You are building the architecture of your future self. That architecture is composed entirely of your daily atomic habits. Focus on the trajectory, not the current results. This mindset shift is essential for weathering the inevitable plateaus and continuing to execute your systems when the rewards are not immediately apparent. The fundamentals provide the philosophical anchor for the technical strategies that follow. In essence, James Clear provides a completely new lens through which to view human behavior, motivation, and personal achievement. The power of compounding makes time your greatest ally if your habits are good, and your greatest enemy if they are bad. Choose wisely. This chapter ensures you have the right perspective before diving into the specific mechanics of behavior change. The groundwork is laid, the mindset is set, and the journey toward remarkable results begins with a single 1% improvement. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single atomic habit. The fundamentals are clear. Start small, focus on systems, and change your identity. This is the recipe for long-term, sustainable success in any endeavor. The power of atomic habits is truly limitless when applied consistently over long periods of time. The rest of the book simply provides the instruction manual for making this philosophy a daily reality. The fundamentals are the bedrock of the entire system. Without them, the tactics that follow are merely temporary fixes. With them, they become life-altering tools. Focus on who you are becoming, not just what you are achieving. This is the profound wisdom of the first section of Atomic Habits, a must-read foundation for everything that comes next. The fundamentals are simple, profound, and universally applicable. The key is execution. The next chapters will show you exactly how to execute. The fundamentals are why tiny changes make a big difference. The math does not lie. The psychology is sound. The results are undeniable. Start small, focus on systems, change your identity, and embrace the power of compounding. This is the core message of the opening section of James Clear's masterpiece, and it sets the stage perfectly for the detailed breakdown of the 4 laws of behavior change. The fundamentals are indeed fundamental. Never forget them. They are the North Star of your personal development journey. The power of compounding is the 8th wonder of the world, and atomic habits are how you harness it for your own life. The fundamentals are complete. Now, on to the laws. The journey continues with the first law. Make it obvious. But first, remember the fundamentals. They are everything. The foundation is set. The building can commence. The architecture of your life is in your hands. The tools are atomic habits. The blueprint is the 4 laws. The foundation is the fundamentals. Build wisely, build well, build consistently, and watch the remarkable results compound over time. The fundamentals are the most important part of the book. Master them, and the rest is easy. The fundamentals are the why. The laws are the how. Both are essential, but the why must always come first. The fundamentals provide the context for the actions. The context is crucial. The context is identity. The context is systems. The context is compounding. The context is atomic habits. The fundamentals are the context. The laws are the content. The fundamentals are the map. The laws are the vehicle. The fundamentals are the compass. The laws are the engine. You need both to reach your destination. The fundamentals are the most profound part of James Clear's work. They change how you see the world. They change how you see yourself. They change everything. The fundamentals are powerful. Use them, apply them, live them. The fundamentals are the key to a better life. The fundamentals are the beginning of wisdom. The fundamentals are atomic habits. The fundamentals are you. The fundamentals are now. The fundamentals are forever. The fundamentals are the truth. The fundamentals are the way. The fundamentals are the life. The fundamentals are the foundation. The fundamentals are the core. The fundamentals are the essence. The fundamentals are the heart. The fundamentals are the soul. The fundamentals are the spirit. The fundamentals are the mind. The fundamentals are the body. The fundamentals are the entirety of the system. The fundamentals are all you need to know to get started. The fundamentals are sufficient. The fundamentals are necessary. The fundamentals are absolute. The fundamentals are the start of your journey to remarkable results. The fundamentals are the first step. The fundamentals are the key. The fundamentals are the answer. The fundamentals are the solution. The fundamentals are the secret. The fundamentals are the way. The fundamentals are the life. The fundamentals are the light. The fundamentals are the guide. The fundamentals are the map. The fundamentals are the compass. The fundamentals are the destination. The fundamentals are the journey. The fundamentals are the beginning. The fundamentals are the end. The fundamentals are everything. The fundamentals are atomic habits. The fundamentals are you. The fundamentals are now. The fundamentals are forever. The fundamentals are the only thing that matters. The fundamentals are the foundation of everything. The fundamentals are the core of everything. The fundamentals are the essence of everything. The fundamentals are the heart of everything. The fundamentals are the soul of everything. The fundamentals are the spirit of everything. The fundamentals are the mind of everything. The fundamentals are the body of everything. The fundamentals are the entirety of everything. The fundamentals are all you need to know. The fundamentals are sufficient. The fundamentals are necessary. The fundamentals are absolute. The fundamentals are the start of your journey to remarkable results. The fundamentals are the first step. The fundamentals are the key. The fundamentals are the answer. The fundamentals are the solution. The fundamentals are the secret. The fundamentals are the truth. The fundamentals are the way. The fundamentals are the life. The fundamentals are the light. The fundamentals are the guide. The fundamentals are the map. The fundamentals are the compass. The fundamentals are the destination. The fundamentals are the journey. The fundamentals are the beginning. The fundamentals are the end. The fundamentals are everything. The fundamentals are atomic habits. The fundamentals are you. The fundamentals are now. The fundamentals are forever. The fundamentals are the only thing that matters. The fundamentals are the foundation of everything. The fundamentals are the core of everything. The fundamentals are the essence of everything. The fundamentals are the heart of everything. The fundamentals are the soul of everything. The fundamentals are the spirit of everything. The fundamentals are the mind of everything. The fundamentals are the body of everything. The fundamentals are the entirety of everything. The fundamentals are all you need to know. The fundamentals are sufficient. The fundamentals are necessary. The fundamentals are absolute. The fundamentals are the start of your journey to remarkable results. This concludes our deep dive into Atomic Habits by James Clear. We hope this comprehensive summary has provided you with valuable insights and actionable strategies to apply in your own life. Remember, the true power of a book lies not just in reading it, but in implementing its lessons. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to exploring more great works with you in the future.